Namaste to all. The question is very interesting. The question is like this. In every video, you say that there is only one Gita which is authentic, commented by my Acharya. So you are trying to do favorism or partiality just because your Acharya has commented. You are telling that that is the only authentic Gita. What is the proof that only your Acharya's Gita is authentic one? That is the question. The answer is very simple. Indeed, we have to understand basics about Sri Krishna Maharaj's life. Sri Krishna was a learned philosopher of Vedas. Sri Krishna learnt Vedas from his guru Sandipan Maharishi. And also Vyas Muni learnt Vedas in his younger age, and after attaining Samadhi only, Vyas Muni wrote Mahabharata, Vyas Muni wrote Vedanta Darshana or the Brahma Sutras, Vyas Muni commented on Patanjali Yoga Sutras, also Vyas Muni compiled the 4 Vedas. So we have to understand the basis of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita is Vedas. And that is why I always say that if you find a Gita which is having a Vedic reference, then that could be an authentic one. And in the market, wherever you go and search, you will not find any Gita other than the Gita commented by my Acharya, which has Vedic reference to every shloka. That means there is a shloka told by Sri Krishna or written by Vyas Muni. From each and every word, my Acharya would have linked that this word is coming from this Ved mantra, this bhavana is coming from this Ved mantra. This is the reason why Sri Krishna speaks like this, to emphasize, to re-emphasize again and again that everywhere we can understand that Sri Krishna had the knowledge of Vedas. That is why Sri Krishna spoke like that. So Sri Krishna worshipped the God of Vedas, and that is why Sri Krishna is speaking like this. So my Acharya has been trying to prove very clearly that there is only one God, and that God is in the Vedas. And Sri Krishna worshipped that God and attained Samadhi, and after attaining the title of Yogeshwar, he spoke Gita. So now a very classic example, I would say, every time, just to re-emphasize that why I say my the Gita commented by my Acharya is the authentic one, just go to Google and type Gita 18/66. You will get many Bhagavad Gita as it is by ISKCON, Bhagavad Gita by Mukundananda, Shlokam.org, many websites will come. Just open that shloka and see. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. That is the shloka, okay? So where everybody would have commented that Sarva Dharman, Sarva means all, Dharman means religions, or Dharma means dharmas. So you have to abandon all the dharmas and come to my shelter. This is how everybody would have translated. But whereas a Sanskrit philosopher who has attained Samadhi, a yogi, a rishi, a tapasvi will interpret Sarva Dharman as Sarva plus Adharma. Because Dharma is not to be left at any point of time. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati beautifully says that even if somebody is going to kill a tapasvi or a yogi, he will not abandon his dharma, because dharma is Almighty God, dharma is Vedas. So sarva dharma parityajya does not mean leave all the dharmas, does not mean leave all the religions. In fact, religion is not a right translation, because 5,500 years back at that point of time, none of the present religions existed. So it is dharma is the right word, but dharma means righteousness. The translation of dharma in English is righteousness. So sarva dharma parityajya, when Vyas Muni is writing or Sri Krishna is saying that the translation, somebody says leave all the righteousness and come to my shelter. If somebody says this, then for sure that person does not have ABC knowledge of Vedas or Sanskrit, or they do not know about Sri Krishna is the reality. So the real Sanskrit interpretation of sarva dharma is Sarva plus Adharma. Leave all the Adharma and come to my shelter. When you leave all the Adharma and come to my shelter, I will make you free from all the sins, is what Sri Krishna says. So here somebody will interpret that Sri Krishna is the God, that is why he is forgiving the sins. That point of time Sri Krishna was alive, he was a yogi, and he is telling to Arjuna, so Arjuna, you come to my shelter, you leave the Adharma and come to me, I will save you from the sins. So that is the same knowledge applicable even today also. When we leave the Adharma and go to a shelter of an Acharya of Vedas, he will free us away from all the sins, is the reality, is the truth. The other truth is, if we assume that Sri Krishna is a yogi and from inside the yogi the Almighty God is giving the knowledge, then also when we go to Almighty God's shelter, which is again the Acharya shelter or the Vedic shelter, then also we have to leave the Adharma. We cannot leave the Dharma and go to shelter of Almighty God. So God exists where dharma exists. God does not exist where adharma exists. This has to be clearly understood. That's why I say you have to do a comparative study. The reason I say a statement that only one authentic Gita is there to my knowledge is because I have studied so many Gita and I have compared it very clearly. And my Acharya always says that do not believe something where if even I say it. That is why my Acharya says even after attaining Samadhi, somebody asked my Acharya, you have attained Samadhi and some of your disciples, including the questioner is asking, including myself, I have seen your Samadhi Avastha, then why you are doing Adhyayana of Vedas to teach Vedas to others? My Acharya simply said only one answer, very beautiful answer. My Acharya said, if I say that God is formless, if I say that God is one, if I say that God does not take avatar, who will believe me? Nobody will believe me. I have to give a reference of Veda mantra, right? So that is why I am doing Veda Adhyayana even after Samadhi, just to give the knowledge to the public. I have to give reference. Otherwise, out of my own tapasya, I can say that God is one, God is Nirakar, God does not take avatar. He is realized within the human being or the human body, everything, because it is my own realization, but nobody will believe me. I have to quote a reference of Veda mantra or Yoga Sutra, etc. That is why I did Adhyayana, my Acharya used to tell. So, we should never believe anybody blindly. So always believe or read such books which has Vedic references. Even Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, if you take Light of Truth or any of the book written by him, he would have always given Vedic reference or Shastra reference in that. So we have to always study books which are written by Rishi Munis only, which has Vedic references. Otherwise it will misguide us. It will misguide us to the point that we will believe that Sri Krishna was Almighty God or Sri Krishna is Almighty God, whereas Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. He is a yogi. He was a yogi. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.